Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. We are going to look at some of the best formations that you can use in EAFC 24 right now. This is the team I'm using. I've got my 4-4-2 tactics here, but that it would be one of the formations. We're going to talk through a few different ones. So, number one, we will use the 4-4-2. For each formation, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of it. I'm going to do a top five and then I'll do a honourable mentions of other ones that I think are still pretty good. This top five is not necessarily in a particular order. If I had to pick one formation right now, though, just to clarify that I really like, it would be the 4-2-3-1, but we will get to that. The 4-4-2, very balanced across the board. Doesn't really leave any gaps. You get width from the two wingers. Two strikers offer you a lot. I think two strikers are really important a lot of time in this game. Probably thinking, well, why is 4-2-3-1 work then? But we'll get to that. Very good defensive of this formation. You will use the wingers on comeback on defense, and when you do that, it gives you a lot of support defensively. That is big on a game where a lot of the formations leave people vulnerable with overlaps. When that happens, you can get punished. The 4-4-2 is one of the safe formations to play, and very simple. Doesn't really require much complication for it. In terms of issues, the only real issue for me is this gap between the midfield and strikers. The only way to really fill it is for one of your midfielders to go forward. When they go forward, it leaves a gap in midfield a bit if you get countered. But no formation is perfect, but I think it's a very solid one. Number two, we've already mentioned it, the 4-2-3-1. This one, similar to the 4-4-2, but your Lam and Ram are a little bit more attacking, a little bit more central, but pushed up a bit more. Are you sick to death of getting out-teamed on FC24? Want that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out IGGM.com today, the best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out IGGM.com today. The left mid and right mid probably helps on counters, gives you a little bit more threat going forward. The cam links up really well. You have that cam and striker link up. The passing patterns in the 4-2-3-1 are really good. Earlier on in the year, I liked this formation but didn't like it quite as much. However, long shots I feel aren't as easy to score anymore because of the way people have insane defenders who block everything. Everyone's really quick to close down stuff, and they did nerf them slightly. But in the 4-2-3-1, I feel long shots are still very good because you have lots of great positions to go for them. So for me, I like that. The attacking pads are really good, but probably the thing that really makes the 4-2-3-1 a lot better than it was earlier on in the years, all the passing play styles that everyone has. When everyone has all the good passing play styles in midfield, like ping pass, through ball, tiki taka, it makes it a lot easier for this formation to work, opens a lot of things up. I really think helps this formation excel. Defensively, it is obviously very, very good as well. I have all my midfielders except for the cam on comeback on defense. The cam's still on basics, defense support, so you can drag them back. It's a very hard formation to break down. You don't need to be too attacking in this formation, in the sense of you can push mid forward without having the fullbacks overlap, and you still get natural width. That's really useful in this formation. Obvious weakness, if I had to pick one, is lack of two strikers, but I feel with the interchange and the way that 4-2-3-1 works, it's not a big deal. Also, on a game where cutbacks are fantastic, the 4-2-3-1 naturally excels. Next formation we're going to talk about is the 4-3-2-1. You wouldn't really be able to escape a best formations video over the last year or two of EAFC and then FIFA 20. Was it FIFA 24? FIFA 23. FIFA 23. Where 4-3-2-1 really became massive. But might have been FIFA 22 when it started to become popular. But 100% this year and FIFA 23, 4-3-2-1 was huge. The obvious strengths of it, you've got three midfielders, you can boss that midfield. A lot of formations. Really struggle to play through the middle. One of the reasons is formations like this that just drown the middle out. It makes it very hard for people to play against you there. The formation defends like a 4-4-2 with the way you set the instructions up. That's really useful. But then going forward, there's just crazy amount of options. You get width, You get your fullbacks overlapping. It is very hard to defend against this formation. If you play someone good who knows what they're doing in this formation, you're in for a very tough time. And at times they will just get overlaps and overloads that you can't really defend, which sounds stupid, and it is, but that's just the reality of the game at this point. In terms of weakness, I mean, for this formation to really excel, it does need overlapping fullbacks. When you have overlapping fullbacks, you will be vulnerable on the counter. Do bear this in mind. Does it mean it's super open and going to leave you really risk counterattacks? Not really. It's not that bad in terms of that. But for me, it is a bit of an issue, so do bear that in mind. 3-5-2. Very, very good going forward. I feel like this is a formation that earlier on in the year doesn't work as well because it's a lot more player reliant than other formations. You need, especially the wingers, you need wingers who are really quick, obviously can cross, good at dribbling, and then have work rates and good defensive stats. There wasn't many of those players whatsoever at the start of the year. There is more now with all the crazy cards we've got, so the formation excels more. Going forward, it's better than any of the formations we've already mentioned. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. The formations I've already mentioned, none of them can compete really with this one going forward. But defensively, it is a little bit more open than some of the others. It does get counter-attacked a bit more easy. Is it way too open to use? No. I definitely think you can use this one. But it's not one that I would be using, generally speaking. It's not in my top three. I think the first three would be my top three, if I had to say. It's versatile though, and it is a lot of fun. It's probably some of the most fun I've had playing the game this year. In terms of the last one that I would say, it would probably be something boring like the 4-4-1-1, which is more like a hybrid of the 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1. Doesn't really have a massive weakness. Again, it's not quite as good going forward as the other formations. You don't have two strikers. You don't have the left mid and right mid pushing up to Lam and Ram, which gives you the really good attacking options. You do have to bear this in mind. However, I still do really like how it plays. It's very good defensively. This could be an all-out defence formation if you wanted. And if you like a mix of the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1, this one's going to work really well. Most of the other formations are just lesser versions, really, some of the formations we've already mentioned. I really would like to make the 4-3-1-2 or narrow diamond work, but I just feel this game, and when you play someone good around your level, you are going to get massively punished if you try to play through the middle. I wish that wasn't the case, but it just is. The 4-3-3s can be good, but again, I just don't think they'd quite match up some of the other formations. I do feel like you can make nearly any formation work with the right players' instructions, and that is definitely an improvement. But I still think there are better formations on the game. Appreciate you all watching the video. As always, keep it spicy. I do hope to see you in the next one. Peace.